And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? Shout out to everybody for coming on in this Instagram live. I appreciate y'all for joining live on the stream, or if you're watching the restream, thank you for watching that as well. I most certainly appreciate you. And if you don't know, I'm live each and every Tuesday at 9 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. On the Instagram, I'm live every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the YouTube. But shout out to you guys who are right here, right now. Shout out to you guys who are watching or listening later. I appreciate you. Tell a friend that I am live, that I am in the building, and that the video is cracking. What's going on, VRZX? What's happening? What's going on? Was that Wicked Elaine? Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody coming on in. I appreciate you for rocking and rolling with me. VRZX, as you said, VRZX says, did you catch Super Bowl highlights? I mean, nah, not for real. I watched some of the game. I did. But after that, I was good. I watched it up until the halftime show. After that, I was pretty much done with it. And I really didn't care to look at the highlights, to be totally honest with you. I don't know. Sports, it just seems like it's a lot of fake stuff going on because of the betting. If you guys watch the commercials, matter of fact, hold on. Let me get myself together. Let me get this light. Okay, it does that sometimes, but there were so many commercials. Look, the commercials focused on what? Weight loss drugs. And let's talk about weight loss drugs. I know I'm going all over the place, but I'm going to come back, I promise. I'm going to do my weave like Trump say. Listen, if you can afford to purchase weight loss drugs like Ozempic and the like, well, y'all call it the GOP-1 so you don't sound fat when you buy it, yeah. If you can afford to buy that, then you can afford to buy good food and eat good food and exercise. Oh, it's too expensive, ABL. Organic food's too expensive. Meanwhile, you DoorDash every meal and you on Ozempic. So what costs more? Going to the store, getting real food, eating that, and not eating a ton of it like you do right now, or going to get Ozempic and eating the big bag snacks you normally eat? What's more expensive? The whole thing about money, the money is an excuse because what you want to do is just be a big bag. That's all. But I got a little triggered, so I digress. Let's come back. So most of the commercials were about what? Weight loss drugs, cryptocurrency, gambling, a lot of gambling going on. We saw the guy. Did you see the guy streak on the field? Now we know that he bet on somebody to do that in the actual game, and he did it himself. So he basically paid himself to do that through the gambling. If you bet on yourself, and then you go out and do the thing that you bet on, should that be legal? If you are an NBA basketball player and you bet on a thing that you go out there and do, or if you tell someone you're going to do a thing, they bet on it, and you do that thing and they get paid, isn't that illegal? Isn't that what they got Jonte? I forget his name. You know what I'm talking about. The guy from the Raptors, I believe. Jonte Porter, Michael Porter Jr.'s brother. That's how he got, I think he got arrested for that. So I'm just trying to understand the legality of gambling. But regardless of the legality or illegality of gambling, it's a lot of it happening, and it's tainting the game for me. There's always been a part of sports that included gambling, but now it's in the overdrive because people are making a lot of money on that. They're losing a lot of money as well. A lot of young guys are getting their shirts tore off their back because of the gambling. But a lot of guys make money. A lot of corporations make money. So they're just kind of leaning into it. Back in my day, it was kind of a taboo thing to have a casino in your area. Oh, that was a thing. It's like, we don't want a casino. It's like having a club, like a black nightclub. It's like, violence, crime, somebody's gonna die. It was the same thing with a casino because it was seen as something that was taking advantage of people in a vulnerable state. You couldn't have a casino in a rough area. Let me give you a quick story. So back in the day when I had hair, okay, I was getting the Boosie fade, but not a Boosie fade. Back in my day, my haircuts that I would get the traditional African boy, the bald head or all the way low. Like, you ain't gotta do listen, I ain't had no cornrows, afro, nothing. Hey, cut my boy's head all the way to the scalp so he can be closer to God. That's pretty much what I got. Even though I had African-American parents, they still kind of African. But anyway, when I used to go to the barbershop, There was a casino they put right next door, but it wasn't a casino. It was like some kind of gambling store. It was weird. You're in the ghetto, in the hood. It's this little spot right next to the barbershop. Man, that thing was crazy. They shut that down within 2 months, 3 months. Oh, man, I'll never forget it. One time I'm getting the cut, and the way the shop was, you could see right outside of the front, got these big glass windows, like a typical storefront type of spot. And he's one like a strip mall kind of area. So I'm in the chair getting my cut. Zzz. I'm looking out front. I'm seeing commotion. And some of the barbers are leaving the shop to go out there and check on it. It was a lady who was bleeding uncontrollably from her lower body, coming out of the casino screaming. Now, I don't know what happened. I don't think nobody got shot. It was just some extra stuff going on, maybe a medical issue. I don't know what was happening, but it was a lot of crazy stuff happening in that gambling spot. And that goes to what I was saying. A lot of the gambling at one point was very taboo, but now it's everywhere. Super Bowl commercials, you got Prize Picks and Kalshi and this and that. You got a little bit of everything going on, and it's to the point where you're able to bet on everything. Okay, did a bird poop on the field? Okay, you could bet on that. Did somebody say the word Omaha like Peyton Manning? You could bet on that. It's too much. But then when you're able to bet on a thing and manipulate the outcome yourself to be able to get the money, I'm not sure how that's legal. If you are the one who placed the bet and you did the thing that the bet says, how can you actually make money on that? To me, it doesn't make any sense, but hey, that's where we at. So Super Bowl, what my cup of tea? I'm not really sports. It's got too much other stuff on it. I love sports, love football, basketball. That's my main things. But it's just so much other stuff that they put on top. It makes the actual game difficult to enjoy, personally. All right, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. And I was just talking for a while now, so I'm going to try to catch up on some of you guys' comments. Okay. Mark or MarmC95 says, so I never understood. So if you were born in any country in Africa, aren't these people should be called, okay, you're talking about who should be called African American. The term African American was popularized in the United States in 1989 when Jesse Jackson, a so-called leader in the community, not really an FBI snitch, but anyway, well, not Jesse, Al was a snitch. Jesse was just like a reverend, also like a quote unquote black leader. But anyway, Jesse Jackson said that African Americans should be how you refer to black Americans in 1989, and then people just ran with it. I never understood the term African American. I'm not African. I've been in the United States for a very long time. Born here, obviously, but my ancestors been here for a long time, since the 1600s in Virginia. So there's no African American. Okay, we're black American. That's just what it is. So some may use that term, but I don't use that term. So I'm not really into squabbling over who could use it or not. I just say black American. Whatever you want to call yourself is your thing. If you identify as a dinosaur, a pet gerbil, a jackrabbit, whatever, it's fine. I don't really care, but I'm going to call myself black American. And I think the majority of us would say the same thing. We're black, not African. Shout out to my Africans. Well, I love y'all, but we're just not y'all. Just like if you have a white person who's been here since the Nina and the Pinks and the Santa Maria talking about they got family back in the old country. What old country? You talking about Arkansas, Tennessee, Louisiana, Alabama? What old country you talking about? Ain't no old country. You're an American now. You didn't come here in the Ellis Island days. You came here in the year 1775. So you're an American. Call it what it is. All right, there's more here. Blood, Guts, and Beer says, is it wrong to go and see this event for free? ABL, what's the answer? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Maybe I'm missing the context. Okay, here's a previous remark. Blood, Guts, and Beer says, I am perplexed. I'm a big Seinfeld fan and have the opportunity to see the guy who played Kramer on Friday night, knowing what he did. Okay, so Kramer, you're kind of, look, either you're going to forgive him or not. It's all on you, because some people say Kramer, Michael Richards, had a bad night and he let the N-word fly. Now, you may want to forgive him or you may not. It's up to you. I'm not going to judge you either way. That's your business. You know what I mean? Now, some are going to judge you for that. How can you go see him because he's a racist? That's on you to be able to deal with that on your own. But if you want to forgive him, or it's not really that serious to you, then that's on you. I say lead with your heart on that decision right there, for sure. All right. William says Seattle won. Is this an issue? I don't even really care. I really, respectfully, I couldn't care less about who won or who lost. Respectfully. If you guys enjoyed the game, hey, I'm glad you enjoyed it. But for me, it's just sports has become, I just can't. I watch maybe highlights. If it's something like a good play or so, I watch it. But beyond that, I'm good. All right. Is the NFL corrupt? It might be corrupt. It could be corrupt. And define corrupt. I mean, I'm not really sure what that means because there's obvious corruption, right? But then there's also some other kind of corruption where it may not fit under your definition of what corruption is. If if the owners of teams conspire to do certain things that may be anti-player or anti-specific player, then is that called corruption or is it just called business practice, business as usual? I don't really know. I didn't even see the Budweiser commercial, Leo Mazzina. I didn't see it. Might have checked it out. All right. Demi Reed says hello from Texas. Shout out to you from Texas. Miss Finevine says insurance covers those drugs now. Is that right? So you can get your insurance to pay for Ozempic? That's crazy. But that's why insurance costs $1 trillion for next to no coverage, to the point where it's cheaper just to not have insurance pay for you. Like if you just going to the doctor and stuff like that, what you need insurance for? If all you're doing is just going to your what's that? The general practitioner, the general, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you're going primary care physician, if you're going to your primary care physician and just getting checkups and you paying a crazy $1,000 a month insurance bill, I don't understand how that makes any sense. See, I live in a place where you're able to buy a plan straight with a doctor. You got smaller offices, smaller practices where you're able to just give them a monthly subscription. I ain't gonna say what I pay because I ain't trying to say too much, but it's nowhere near, it's a little amount of money. And for that amount of money, I'm able to go to the doctor, blood work, check up, the whole 9 yards. Now, if I need something a little bit more intricate, I got something for that. But to get these plans, Blue Cross Blue Shield, all this and that, $1,200 for next to no coverage, deductible like $10,000, it makes no sense. Financially, the numbers don't add up. Okay, unless you got some kind of crazy ailment that nobody else in the world has, I don't really see the point of having insurance in this particular point in time, 2026 in the USA. VRZX says Kirkland signature coconut water, salmon, and brown rice is the way to go. You already know. Hey, I was at Costco today. Okay, and I racked up. And Costco has wild caught salmon. I had some today, cooked it. Mwah, beautiful. The difference between wild caught and farm raised salmon is night and day. But the main thing is the taste. The wild caught, it tastes athletic. Like it's been in the water trying to escape from sharks and all kind of stuff, right? So it's athletic. It tastes like it's not so much fat on it. It's a very lean fish. When you get the farm raised, all it's going to do is just swim in a little pond all day. Think about swimming in the ocean, okay, miles deep potentially. You're swimming in the ocean. ABL, you're not going to have salmon that deep. Just stay with me. Ocean swimming, ocean living versus a kiddie pool. Basically, that's the difference. So the farm raised salmon is going to have a lot more fatty taste. It's going to be more just, it's going to be a sedentary fish. I want the athletic fish. The things, you are what you eat, right? People say I look like I'm athletic still. It's because of what I eat. If I was to eat a bunch of processed foods, fatty foods, big back stuff, I'll be looking like exactly what my food is. Lazy, sedentary, full of chemicals, everything else. So that's what that is. But yeah, shout out to Costco. Shout out to the salmon. It's beautiful, wild caught. I love it. Hey, if you're not getting, and they had Chilean sea bass wild caught. I was like, oh now, wait, I almost got some. Chilean sea bass, that's that good right there. If you know, you know. They had wild caught Chilean sea bass in Costco, $41, but it was a lot of fish. It was like, that was enough in there probably for about 6 days. To the point I probably had to freeze some of it because I don't know. But the salmon was $17 for something about like that. For that salmon, that's probably about 4 days of salmon for $17. Okay, so do the math. Do the math on that. You're talking about what, like less than what, $4, less than $5 for a one piece of your meal. Now compare that to going to get Ozempic and doing DoorDash 3 times a day. Like, think about what is cheaper actually. ABL is cheaper to get fast food. Cope. Lying. What the cool kids say? Capping, ain't that what they say? That's what that is right there. And if you want this hat, if you want 1984, if you want this hat, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Redbeard Gator Guard, pardon me, says, how was your day? Hello from Kansas. Everything was great. Redbeard Gator Guard, shout out to you. And if I didn't speak to you, Miss Fine Vine, hello. Thank you for being here. Deb C from Virginia, you already know. VA, 2 up, 2 down. JJ Fenton, what's going on? All right, let me come back down here to get the recent comments. All right, DJ Big Daddy Blake says, you are what you eat. Eats, exactly. You are what you eats. That's right. Miss Fine Vine says, Wildcott salmon are gangsters. Yeah, they got to be in the troublesome waters. The farm raised could never. The farm raised could never. Robert Alachi says, can I put you in contact with my local Lubbock Homeschool Club America chapter outreach coordinator to organize a speaking event? We'd love to have you, but we're pretty small. Hey, send me emails. We'll see what we can work out for sure. Or you could DM me here, email me. All my contact info is on the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us, contact us. And my email address is contact@anthonyblogan.com. But again, my email address is right there on the website. If you want to DM me here, that's fine as well. We'll see what we can work out. All right, well, shout out to you. Hold on. Shebrat says NFL is woke still. They do the non-family like halftime. Well, the halftime show, let me tell you about, okay, let's talk about the halftime show since we're right here. The reason why they did the halftime show like that is because it's a financial thing. Bad Bunny is one of the biggest streaming artists in the world. And I think he was the biggest streaming artist in 2025 across platforms. When you include Apple, iTunes, Spotify, etc., put it all together, Bad Bunny is going to be your number one guy. Drake's in this category, like number 4 or 5, usually number 3 sometimes. But Drake is consistently year to year always in there. So the game now, because nobody's buying music anymore because everything's all streaming, the game now is to try to leverage yourself in the streaming ranks. And when you're able to do that, you're not only leveraging the artists in the streaming ranks, you're also assisting the company in which they work for to get more money. So if Bad Bunny goes from number 6 to number 2, or from number 4 to number 1, or if he stays number 1 and then increases, that increase represents a part of the company that represents him portfolio rising. So the reason why he went Super Bowl, it was very simple. They don't pay, which is okay because of the exposure you get, but you're able to get this biggest star in the world because it's going to help him just get more and more money, which helps the label get more and more money. And it's probably a few labels that he is signed to, a few companies, labels, etc., that he is signed to. So it's all about money, really. It's not about us as people that enjoy music, American music, English music. They don't really care about us. Puerto Rico's America. Just stop. Just stop. You know what I mean? Music in English that most Americans listen to. It's not really about that. It's about, hey, this guy's really big streaming artist. We got a big platform. It's a win-win. We get viewers from your fans and you get viewers from our fans or listeners from our fans. It's a win-win. That's the way it works. If people in America generally don't like it, then so what? Because at the end of the day, it's about the money. It's just about numbers. It's about math, not about feelings, not about nostalgia, nothing. Math, money, period. Shantae, is this Shauna or Sean, pardon me. I said Shantae. Sean says, crazy thing is Michael Jackson halftime show only was behind by like 500,000 views. A small number considering there was on social media in 1993. Oh, Michael, the numbers that the show got are unimportant because we know that numbers have increased as far as world population, and numbers have also increased as far as NFL halftime show viewership. Plus, there's been more marketing dollars spent and social media. There's more of an ability to market things to people with all the ways that you're able to reach people. At one point, it was only the radio and television, no internet at one point. 1993, there was no internet. There may have been internet, but people didn't have it. In 1993, it was not really a thing to be online all the time. It was impossible. There was no smartphones. There was no cell phones, period. No internet, no nothing. It was television and radio. And in the street, outside, you had street promoters. So wherever you at, they come up to you that way. And plus, there's a lot more money in the industry now than there was back then in terms of real cash, physical cash, not just the rise of inflation. It's not like, okay, you get X amount in the coffers of the music industry now, which is the same as the previous, adjusted for inflation. No, there's actual real money. There's more real money in the industry. So it's unfair to compare viewership from 2026 to 1993 for a variety of reasons. What's going on, Kel? Thank you for joining. Sheep Rat says it was a bad halftime. Yeah, it wasn't really my cup of tea. Not at all. What's going on, Bootfit? Everything's good. Shout out to you, boss. Young Black and Wealthy says, I get it, but I couldn't name a song. I'm saying it's okay to say that you didn't know what was going on. You didn't know any of the music. It did nothing for you. It's okay. And I saw a video. I think you might have liked that video too, young Black and Wealthy, where it was a guy saying, well, look, if you just don't like them, meaning the Puerto Ricans for their culture, that's one thing. Like you consider that to be bigoted, racist, or whatever. I don't necessarily consider it to be racist if you just don't like that kind of music. If you just don't like them, that's something different. But ultimately, I just didn't like the show. I can't understand it. And people saying, oh, just learn Spanish. Like, okay, will it make it better? Because back in the day, there were still some songs that I knew that were mostly in Spanish. Like I said, I got excited when it played Gasolina for like 2 seconds. I know that song. That's my era. 2004, I was outside. I'm 20 years old. I'm in the club. That's going to come on. All I know is Gasolina. Mana hoop do that got so. That's all I know. But I know the song. I know Daddy Yankee is. I know that song. So stuff like that is okay. But when you're giving me a brand new song that I've never heard before from a mumble rapping Hispanic artist, I don't know what's happening. You speaking in Spanish, you mumbling, it's unfamiliar music. I don't get it. Oh, the message. Okay, well, fantastic. But to be totally honest, I'm not the kind of guy who needs to get a message preached to me in my music, which is why the Turning Point event was had some of the similar vibes where it's like, you're trying to, I heard one of the first songs, it was like, and God bless our troops. I was like, that's a nice message, but for real, I'm not trying to hear that in music. Well, thank the Lord, our country is free. God bless our troops. All the money's on. You know how to be. I can't. That's a very nice message. I don't want to downplay the message, but musically, I can't. What they say? I can't get jiggy with that. Shout out to Will Smith before he slapped Chris Rock. Shout out to the previous Will Smith. Shout out to the first Will Smith, not the one that slapped Chris Rock. All right, let me keep going here. And shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Leo says, I made a whole chicken the other night. My coworker thought it was one of those rotisseries for the store. Hey, man, shout out to you. That's all I'm talking about, making the whole chicken. Okay, accomplishments. Okay, Chef Leo Messina. Shout out to you, bro. All right, let me keep going here. Shebrat says we have good family-friendly music. That's right. Maro Boy says, aloha from Hawaii. Shout out to you from Hawaii. Right on. Big Daddy Blake says, I thought the Bad Bunny halftime show was great. Love the vibe. I like when I get to hear new stuff that I haven't heard before. I thought the choreography and set were amazing. Hey, if you enjoyed it, that's fine. Everything ain't for everybody, and that's okay. That's totally okay. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know you're not the only one who enjoyed it. Bad Bunny is a popular artist for a reason, but personally, me, ABL, I couldn't do nothing with it. But I'm glad you had a good time. Seabright says Grok is deceptive. I mean, y'all got to stop believing everything the AI say. I'm not saying you don't believe everything the AI says, but it's AI. It's not a human being. So it's not going to be accurate all the time. You take what they say with a grain of salt. I use AI to accomplish tasks that I can see that it did. Okay, all right, Grok, I need you to write me an article about this particular subject to put on my website. Now, my job after Grok writes the article is to proofread it, to be the editor, because I know there's going to be some things in there I don't like. Like sometimes I write an article and it will give an opinion that was probably programmed into it by people using it, I suppose, or the programmers. I'm not sure how that works, but it'll give an opinion on certain things. I'm going to just change that. I'm going to change that opinion. As long as the meat and potato, the facts are there, I could take care of the rest. I'm not going to totally rely upon that as something that is going to be totally perfect in decision making. All it can do really is just perform tasks. People are a little bit too afraid of AI. I'm not saying anybody here who has said anything to me right now, but people are kind of afraid of AI because they don't understand it. And if you don't, I'm gonna say this. People who are afraid of AI don't understand human beings. They don't understand humanity. They don't understand the things that we have within us that make us so much more intelligent than AI could ever be. So much more intelligent. There's no way that we can create AI that will be. AI is just a tool that will be used to do things. It cannot replace humanity. Put it to you that way, because you are more intelligent, more resilient, and more capable than you actually know. Believe that. Sean says, Sean says they estimated if Michael had social media, his show would have grossed over 210 million viewers. Crazy numbers either way. Absolutely. Liam Mazina says Super Bowl number is based on how many people watch Super Bowl. So the number watched this year, halftime, is inflated. Miss Fine says, did you see the video in a sports bar that a man got mad at the bar wasn't showing Bad Bunny and showed Turning Point? I saw that. My thing is, okay, like, why you mad? Why you mad? Like, this ain't your establishment. If you don't like what they do, then you can just go in and leave. Like, this is my establishment. I'm gonna put on what I want to put on. You don't like it, you can request that I change it. But if I don't, then, oh well, go to the next bar. You don't got to stay here. It felt kind of fake, to be totally honest with you. Like he staged it to do that, trying to go viral. But yeah, it's like, bro, you don't like what I got on. You don't like my establishment, then you're welcome to leave. Okay, that's like going to somebody's establishment where you eat the chicken and chicken is dry, and you complaining about how dry the chicken is. It's like, okay, what you want me to do? I can fix it, or what we doing? And you just refuse to fix it. You just want to complain. Like, I'm not going to change the channel back to what it was. So you're not going to actually be able to get that fixed. Why are you complaining? Just leave. Kane says, I stopped watching sports once Kobe died. R.I.P. Code. R.I.P. Code. That was crazy when he died. That was totally nuts. That was, man. I ain't gonna try to pronounce your name. VEW says, Bunny got away with $1 million. Not great. Hurrah for Puerto Rico. Thank you to Anthony, who says it should have been sung in English, then it would have been more enjoyable. But you know what? The funny part is, it might not have actually been more enjoyable if it was in English. I mean, maybe, but maybe not, because if you read the English lyrics, you probably wouldn't like that either. A mumble rapper for the halftime show is not the best thing you could do, in my opinion. You want to have an actual performer. Like, for a good show, Bad Bunny is not going to be it. It doesn't really matter if you're speaking English or Spanish. But the Spanish made it worse, because not only are you mumbling in Spanish. So, and you're not even singing. There's no musical talent. You just kind of up there. That ain't really it for the halftime show. That's like, Grammy Awards at best. Grammy Awards at best. Yeah, exactly. He's got a potty mouth. If you translate it, you got a potty mouth. That's right, She-Rat, for sure. All right. Rose says, I really enjoyed the violinist in the Turning Point USA show. Yes. And the guitarist in the beginning playing the anthem, that was really good. Sean says, I would have watched it if he had done the first half geared more towards American culture, the second half toward his Latin culture, especially since it's an American sport. Soccer, a different story. Sean says, I'm Sean's producer, actually doing work on his account tonight. Want to talk to you about an interview. So hit me up later. Okay, cool. Hit me up. Let me know what's going on. Coach Wooten says, copyright infringement. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Sean says, I love AI. Can do a thumbnail, description, links, hashtags, merch and sponsor spots in 10 minutes compared to 30 minutes 5 years ago. Exactly. Time saver. Big time saver. Rather than me writing a whole article and making that be part of my day, like my day has been so much freed up because of AI. I can assign certain tasks to it. It's great. And also I like what they do with AI is the reels. So if you guys have noticed, maybe you haven't noticed, the reels that I put up where it's me talking exclusively, I can translate that using Meta AI, meaning it could translate my voice. Okay, it could translate my voice. So I could be here talking like this, right? And then depending upon what language is set in your settings, you can watch my video in your language. And my lip movement and my voice will be in your language because of Meta AI. Yeah, I was kind of skeptical about that, but I'm like, you know what, let's do it. I want you to hear my message. And regardless, my voice is still gonna be my voice. So yeah, shout out to AI. All right, but shout out to you guys. Hold on. That's right. Nobody could top Prince's performance. That's right. Sean says, I used to like the halftime shows where you may have 50 Cent and Eminem, then Aerosmith, then Ricky Martin. We are so many cultures. Why not enjoy a little of all? Right on. Rose said, Sean has an interesting podcast. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Spencer does Michael Jackson. Yeah, Michael. Shout out to Michael. But Prince, his show was so memorable. I mean, Michael is Michael. I mean, but Prince, that was a really, really, really good show. Miss Fine said, did you see Chuck E. Cheese CEO is in Epstein files? All these folks are around American kids are monsters. Well, my question would be, what did he do in the Epstein files? Because you got certain guys who are in the Epstein files, but it's like, okay, what did they actually do? Joe Rogan's in the Epstein files, but he's in the Epstein files because someone reached out to him about interviewing Epstein and he declined it. So yes, he's in the Epstein files, but did he do anything? That's the question. And I'm not saying the other guy didn't do anything, but what did he do would be my question. All right. Thank you, official Aaron Murray. I appreciate it. Hold on 1 second. Had a piece of a peanut shell right there. And if you want this hat, Aaron Murray, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. What's going on, Delbert says, what's up from Delbert in Detroit? I hate all the schools that are letting the kids protest in the streets. Yeah, that shouldn't really be happening, but I think a lot of them kids don't even really care about the particular issue. They just want to be outside. They just want to be outside having a good time. They don't care nothing about nothing. You know, just trying to do whatever they see their friends do on TikTok. Spencer says, people fail to realize that just having your name in the files is not an implication of criminal activity. These are rich people knowing other rich people. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And that's why they were kind of fearful about releasing the files all the way, because someone's name could be mentioned in it and then they could be potentially ruined over nothing, you know? And I don't think that we are going to find anything that would implicate someone criminally that the feds have not found. Have you heard about anybody getting arrested because of what was found in the Epstein files? I've not heard it, because if they were able to be arrested, then they would have already been arrested. There's not going to be any new revelations. It's just a matter of the general public seeing who knows who. And there's some embarrassing details, some rumors and stuff like this. There may be some more things that come out that are just embarrassing, not necessarily criminal. And people may be kind of shocked, but for me, I'm not shocked at all. I'm never shocked at anything that ever happens with human beings, especially those that got money and power. I am never shocked. If you tell me that 50% of the music industry is gay, whether they rap, rock, country, I'm like, yeah, that's about right. Some of y'all might be a little bit surprised, maybe. I don't know. Some of you guys ain't gonna be surprised either, but some of us are gonna be surprised. But for me, that's like, I've seen quite a bit of that going on over the years, even before YouTube. So Not surprising. Ms. Fine says those kids protesting are in failing school districts. They are focused on the wrong thing. Hey, I know that's right. Yeah, focus on your reading, writing, and arithmetic rather than protesting, for sure. Iron Spider says, if I was a student at the protest, I would have taken opportunity to go home early instead. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Bitmark says, why does ICE get Mexicans and not other immigrants unless they are Mexicans and make a big deal? Okay, I think you're incorrect, though. I mean, you could just go to ICE has social media. They're on Instagram, Twitter, they're everywhere. You could just go and see. They'll post people that they arrest from all over the world. I'm not really sure why you think it's just Mexicans. Where are you getting that from? Where do you come to the conclusion that they just get Mexicans? Like, who told you that? Where'd you get the information from? Let me know something. Big Daddy Blake says, Peter Attia did lose some of his sponsors for being involved with Epstein. And again, what did he actually do? You see, he can be mentioned in the files and didn't really do much of anything, but just being linked to Epstein can damage you business-wise. It can ruin you potentially, depending upon what they think you did or what you did do. Rose says, so much news online about the halftime show. Who won Super Bowl? Seriously? Was it the Seahawks? Yeah, the Seahawks. Ms. Fine says, Prince Andrew was kicked out of the royal home last week due to additional things in the files. Well, Prince Andrew was most certainly like one of the top offenders. Like, I think it's already been known that he was on some other stuff. Yeah. And if you're Prince Andrew, you're part of the royal family. You can't be doing nothing like that. You can't even be close to that because they can't have any kind of toxicity around them. Okay. Just like Meghan Markle had to get Arab out of there too. Bring him off to go try to do podcasts in California. Same thing, Prince Andrew. Okay, bro, you over here messing with these girls. They got pictures of you, all kind of embarrassing stuff. You got to get up out of here. Okay. Who they got? Is it Will and Kate +8? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Who's the actual the prince? Who's going to take over after the other guy? So you got King Charles now, right? Since the Queen died, R.I.P. Then you got King Charles. He about 1,000 years old. So after him, in a couple of years, you're going to have, is it William or Harry? I don't know. I don't know all these people, man. 1776, we already got rid of that. So, you know, who cares? But I'm just saying. All right, hold on. Delbert says, I saw someone get hit because she ran in front of a car because the guy had a Trump flag. Hey, man, you know, don't play in traffic. That's all I got to say. Spencer says exactly they did what they actually do. What did they actually do? Exactly. What did they actually do? If you're in the Epstein files and your name is mentioned, what did you actually do? Bitmark says, I met Mexican immigrants, but never hear them getting Chinese or other race. I'm saying, okay, so my question again is, where are you getting information from? Why do you think that's only the case? Because again, if you go to ICE social media page, they show who they catch. I'm seeing a lot of Asians, a lot of Chinese. And actually, if you don't know, let me tell you a quick story, Mark. Just a quick story. So, at the southern border, on a physical border, in a desert, in between Mexico and U.S., there are signs affixed to like small light poles, but it's like probably about that high enough to where you're able to reach it, even if you're a small person. Anyway, on this sign, it's a box, about like this, right? It's a box with a button, big red button on the bottom of the box. So here's the box, right? You could, if you're seeing it from this side, it's like this, right? And inside it's a button right there, big red button. But above the button, there's a sign in 3 languages. Can you guess the languages? What languages would a sign in the desert be? You have Spanish, of course, English, of course, and then Chinese. And what does the sign say? If you need help, stay where you are, push this button, help will come to you. And that's to prevent deaths from exposure or if you've been injured or whatever the case may be. Because the Chinese are the number 2 illegal alien group coming to the USA. So they are a known issue. I just did a story. You can see it on my page right now. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I'm going to show you this story I just did about Chinese illegal alien. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick. So look, you see that video right there? It says Vegas Airbnb double as a illegal biolab. Okay, I know it's backwards, but it's right there. Right there. You can see it. Okay. Vegas Airbnb double as an illegal biolab. That biolab, meth lab, whatever you want to call it, dope house, trap house, was run by an illegal alien from China who's already in jail. He's already in jail. And the guy who ran the operation while he was gone has gotten locked up too. A lot of these raids are for guys like that. They found a gang from Laos, Southeast Asia. It's all kind of stuff. But look, don't take my word for it. You could go to ICE's social media on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you at, and they'll show you slideshows of who they catching. It's not just Mexicans. It's people who are here illegally, period. All right, hold on, shout out. Big Daddy Blake says Dr. Artia was saying a few things about women's V's, vaginas, and some other things. His son was also in ICU, and he chose to hang out with Epstein, saying he was doing important work. Miss Fine says Charles is 77 years old. His oldest son, William, is next in line for the throne. Okay, thank you, Miss Fine. Thank you. I knew I was in the right ballpark. I appreciate the clarification. Bitmark says, okay, just wondering because you don't hear much news. I mean, people hear what they want to hear. That's how that go. You know, the media put what they want to put up, and they make you hear what you want to hear. But once you dig beyond what the media wants you to know, then you're able to find much more. Rose says, thought a biolab was a dangerous pathogens. Well, yeah, that's what it is. I got you, Bitmark, no problem. But yeah, I mean, I don't care what ethnicity you are. I don't care where you came from. If you're here illegally, you got to be held accountable because, listen, if I, as an American, do something wrong, I'm held accountable. I'm held accountable. So we can't have people just come here and do whatever they want to do without being held accountable because at that time, if that's what's happening, then they're getting special treatment better than American citizens. And how is that fair? How is that fair? Shout out to the young lady. I reacted to her video where she was talking about, ICE shouldn't be trying to just give out cookies and candy and go to your door all nice and stuff like that to arrest you. And they shouldn't because when you have criminal aliens here, man, when you have criminals, not criminal aliens, criminal American citizens, and they got to go get captured by the feds or whatever, it ain't nice. It ain't nice. Okay, we didn't see raids of people's homes, middle of the night. It's whatever. They got Don Lemon on a midnight raid in Los Angeles for raiding the church. So what makes anyone think that an illegal alien would get treated better? I don't get it. Especially when you got people that are committing actual real crimes, like serious crimes. What Don did was a crime, but it's not as serious as, kidnapping children. It's it's kind of a gap in between them. S.A. Tech says, hey, ABL, hope you're having a good night, brother. It's good to see you live again. Shout out to you for joining. I appreciate you, boss. That's right, Muffin. No one's exempt. No one's exempt. American citizens, we do something wrong. Hey, man, you're going to get boot upside your head. You here illegally, illegal alien, you do something wrong, you get in that same boot. That boot don't discriminate, period. Iron Spider says, I remember all the illegal South Koreans getting detained by ICE and they're in a higher social and financial status compared to Latinos in general. Yeah, exactly. They got detained too. And they came a little bit more organized because they were here for a legitimate reason, but their paperwork wasn't really right. They had expired tourist visas. It didn't do the process properly. I don't know why they decided to just skip around that, but they didn't do that properly. Yeah. So they were supposed to be here to help with the plant, to get it operational and go back to South Korea, but they did not have the paperwork together. So it's like, okay, well, you're going to have to get jammed up too. Simple. Now that caused kind of an international incident. They sent Brian Kemp went to South Korea to get that smoothed out, but that's not our fault in America for enforcing our laws. If you're coming over here to do a legitimate action, then make sure you are legitimate in your paperwork. That's it. That's all. Like if I go to South Korea or China or Mexico or anywhere else, saying I'm there for a legitimate reason, doing legitimate work, but paperwork ain't right. You know, my visa's kind of janky, my passport, and they got expired. They might have to come get me. You know, and in certain parts of this world, you want to do just kind of random stuff like that. All right, well, watch this. You about to get put in this prison and nobody going to see you for a while. You might get disappeared. Hey, go to Dubai. And by the way, Dubai sucks. A slave city that's not real. It's 1,000 degrees for no reason at all. It sucks. But anyway, you go over there, violating one of their laws, even a little bit, you're going to be in the penitentiary with guys talking like Allahu Akbar all day long. Straight jihadists in there. They're going to play music with no lyrics. Well, it's going to be lyrics with no music. It's going to be music with no instruments. Man, I'm good on that. I am good on that. That's not for me. That's not to my ministry. I don't approve. I do not approve. But shout out to y'all coming on in. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up or heart, whatever you can do. I appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys. And if you don't know, I'm live each and every Tuesday on the Instagrams at 9 p.m. Eastern. Each and every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Instagrams. Spencer says, facts, done years in the Middle East and different places around the world, playing games over there. Hey, go over there and start playing if you want to. All right, well, watch this. Throw you right in the jank. And it must be Arabic. You don't know what's going on. Huh? Can I get that in English? Okay, I just had the halftime show in Spanish. You speak in Arabic. All I speak is English. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I don't know what's going on. First, my joy was robbed from this halftime show. Now my freedom is robbed over here in this sand desert. I'm good. Coach says, Trump video of Obama racist. Which video are you talking about? S.A. Taki says, you got that accent down pretty good. I try my best. Big Daddy Blake says, try some nonsense in Japan. Yeah, hey, man, go ahead. Try that. I saw a video from Japan. Some dude over there, black dude, acting up. They had him on the ground, and they put him in a burrito. Like some kind of big sheet. I don't know what kind of sheet or blanket this was. Roll his hind parts right on up. Like a burrito. Like he in Chipotle or something. Roll you right on up. What they're going to do with him, I don't know. I don't know where he was going to go from there. All I saw was a swaddling. The burrito action happened right in front of my eyes. Okay, now, normally you're not going to be on the ground getting put on a burrito by just, your choice. Hey, ABL, you want to get put in a burrito? I'm good. No thanks. I appreciate the offer, but I'm good. Don't worry about it. Delbert says, okay, he loves Glenn Beck and Clay Travis on 910 in Detroit. Shout out to them. Okay. Well, are we cussing? Are we cussing at me, Coach? Like, I'm sorry. I didn't know what you were talking about. My fault. Don't bite my head off. Oh, don't bite my head off. I did not know what you were referring to. Do not bite my head off on the Instagram. Foolish boy. But not for real. I mean, I didn't know what you were referring to. So my bad, bro. I'm sorry. But to answer your question, I did a video on it. And ultimately, it was a mistake from the editor. It wasn't anything that Trump did on purpose. Okay. It wasn't anything Trump did on purpose, but I did a whole video on it. So yeah, there's nothing. The video was not intended to be posted. The video that he posted was about election data interference or election data that was manipulated or it could have been stolen or viewed or downloaded or something like that. About election fraud, basically. And what somebody did, if you didn't see my video, what someone did, because the way Trump works, some people think that Trump is like uploading these videos himself. I can guarantee you, Trump has never uploaded anything on social media. Maybe at one point he might have done a tweet in all caps with like 2 words in it, maybe. But I doubt he even did that. I think it's going to be Dan Scavino, his assistant, who's been doing that since 2016 or before then, probably during the campaign in 2015. So Dan Scavino will do most of the social media. What Dan probably does is outsource to another company that does mass uploading of videos and stuff like that. So they're going to outsource that, or they're going to pay low-level guys, interns, stuff like this to clip the video. Trump will say, okay, I like this video, put it up. And then they'll put it up. But their method to capture the video, to put it up, is by going on Twitter and looking at it on somebody's account while screen recording. But the way Twitter works, or the way that it can work, is if you're watching the video on Twitter, it can auto scroll to a random next video. Now, the reason why it was the Obama monkey or whatever is because, number one, you're watching a political video already. And number two, the person had probably seen quite a few political videos. So you're being fed the next thing that you will be interested in, or you might be interested in, which is that particular video right there. And you could tell that that was the case, that it wasn't done on purpose, because when it went to that for a moment, he went right back to the first video at the beginning of the first video. You see what I'm saying? It scrolled to a new video by mistake. He goes back to the video that he was recording, and then it ends. His mistake was not clipping the end piece and just uploading it as is. That made it look to some people as if Trump had intentionally left that piece in there to attack the Obamas, when that was not the case. It was simply a mistake. All right. Mr. Remakes, I ain't gonna say your full name, boss. This is a family show, says the halftime show needs to be looked at by the FCC. That dude was talking crazy in Spanish, very explicit. And you know, that's a really good point you made there, because, okay, the FCC has rules against vulgarity on broadcast television, meaning if you can get the channel for free with an antenna, you must follow certain rules when it comes to the content you put out. Okay, because you got to get that license from the government. Now, if you want to be free with what you can say and do to a certain extent, then just be a cable channel. Okay, don't be a network like over the air. So Bad Bunny's show was most certainly explicit in Spanish. So would there be an FCC violation? That's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. And I didn't hear too many bleeps and removing of the words from the audio, so maybe I'm missing something. But then again, he was mumbling, so I couldn't really catch two words, even if it was in English. Lindsay says, I've been watching Unsolved Mysteries, and I'm so paranoid. That piano music, the theme song does it every time. And yes, Pee Me Off, Bunny Singer had rated R lyrics for show. Yeah, that was my scary show back in the day when I was a kid. Unsolved Mysteries. Yeah. That's right, 03 Forrester. The boss doesn't do intern level stuff. The boss does not do intern level stuff. Exactly. Exactamundo. All right. Yeah, you can send it. Hey, whatever you got to do, Sean, you can send it. It's cool. I'm gonna look out for it. So you could go ahead and send another email. Yeah. But I know I get a lot of emails. Sometimes it gets lost in the sauce. All right. Ms. Fine says, on a lighter note, did you see the kerfuffle regarding snow shovel parking space in Pittsburgh? The situation went viral and made the news out Pittsburgh. I saw that, where the car was like fossilized, kind of, or it hadn't been totaled. Yeah, that was crazy. It got like encased in snow. That was a mess. Iron Spider says, I visited Japan recently, and there's so many Haitians there, especially in the red light district. That's interesting. Japan? And you got Haitians in Japan? Why specifically Japan? Isn't that, there's the tennis player, you know what I'm talking about. She's biracial, black and Japanese, but I think her father is Haitian. Why is it so many Haitians in Japan? Like, what's that all about? All right, but shout out to you guys. XL says, ABL, what's the number on your hat mean? 1984. Is it backwards? I don't know. But 1984, the book by George Orwell. Yeah, that's what it's for. And if you see certain copies of the book, this would be the font that it's in. Because what I did to make this hat, I took one of the books and I traced it with my pen. So I made these numbers out of the book. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find the reference material. But if you've not read the book 1984, you should. You most certainly should. Okay, let me see if I can find one that has the because there's so many different book covers. I don't know if I can find the exact one that I had, but you get it. You get the idea. 1984. If you're not read that book by George Orwell, please do it. You got to read that. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to find it, but it'll look something like that, maybe. Something like that. Or one of these. Yeah. Yeah. But definitely read that book. Lindsay says, hey, who thinks that trash up in New York City is going to get cleaned up anytime soon? LOL, has it yet? Mountains of trash. Hey, man, I couldn't do it. And they better be glad it's wintertime, because if it was summertime and there was trash piled up like that, I don't think it would be piled up like that in the summertime, because you're able to get your vehicles to the actual piles. I think the excuse was the snow prevented the trucks from being able to get there. So we'll see. Miss Fonvine says, no, car wet and totaled. She dug it out and moved to a different parking space across the street. Oh, so she moved it? Okay. I had no idea. I thought it was done for her, because it looked like it was done. It looked like it was a wrap for whatever that was. It was a wrap. 03 Forrester says, the amount of trash that makes big rats. Hey, them rats out there, I saw some of the rats they had already, and them things looking like cats. Like a cat in a place like New York is useless. What you should do to alleviate the rat problem in New York is to unleash a bigger cat. Them little house cats, the orange, the gray, the tabby, the tuxedo, all of that, that ain't gonna get it. Let's unleash some mountain lions and some tigers and panthers. Or, that might be a little much, because you got people that's going to go to work and run, and, I ain't trying anybody to get bitten in hind parts by no mountain lion in New York City. Okay, let's get at least a cougar. Get a cougar, something like that. A baby cougar, right? And what you can do, here's my idea. Remember the old meme? Hits blank. You can go to the space shuttle with at El Dorado if you can really reconfigure it. Anyway, here's my idea. What you should do with the rats in New York City. The regular cats ain't going to get her done. What you can do is unleash some baby cougars, right? Hear me out. Stay with me, as Chad Ochocinco would say. You tag them with a GPS on the ear, right? Like an earring with a GPS on it so they can't get it off. Okay? So you tag them with the GPS, you unleash them, and then after they've been out there for about 6 months, you retrieve them. Okay? And I think in that 6 months, they make a big impact on the rat population. What say you? What y'all say? Hey, desperate times call for desperate measures, and what you should do, here's what I would do. Close the subway for one day, just one day, maybe 2 days, a weekend. No subway on a Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so your work schedule might not be that badly impacted. 2 days, close the subway, and seal it off, and let all the cougars out down there. Have some human beings be down there, like in a little station, here and there, little station, or on a car, kind of shielded, and let them just roam free. And then when the day is over with, you go out there, hunting darts, hit them, put them in the little train car, get them bagged up, and go to the surface. Yeah, that'll do it. Some gray wolves. Yeah, put some gray wolves down there. Yeah, do the same process. Because I gotta do something, man. I done seen rats fighting over bagels, pizza. The next thing I'm gonna see in New York City is a rat drinking Starbies. Listen, if I see one of y'all rats, if I see Master Splinter drinking a matcha, I'm gonna say, you know what? Don't worry about it. You got it. ABL, go to New York is great. I can't tell. I ain't trying to see no rat drinking a Mountain Dew on the subway. You understand? Y'all rats be out there eating pizza, drinking coffee, doing weightlifting. I mean, And the roaches, oh my Lord. I don't know how you're going to fix that problem. The rats, okay, my solution was the big cats. With the roaches, It's not enough. It's not enough raid. It's not enough bombs. It's not enough sticky traps. It's not enough them little, which I be doing with the little sugar traps. It ain't enough of that in the world to get rid of the roach problem. Hey man, I don't know what to tell you. Ratatouille, exactly. Lindsay says, ABL, do I think the scientists have ever been able to recreate dinosaurs? LOL. And what about old Nessie? Dinosaurs are nothing but lizards. That's all. Like the same thing that we see today. Komodo dragons and chameleons and stuff like that. Crocodiles, alligators. This is what those were. They were just big versions of it. And if we had giants in the past, that was just the remnants of the giants. I feel like what they call dinosaurs are giant remnants that they try to rearrange into dinosaurs. Fake bones that they chisel out. They get rock or bone from something else and make it into the shape of a dinosaur. Yeah, I feel like the actual dinosaurs were just lizards, which still exists to this day. The Arm Jackson says, when I lived in New York, that was my first time in life seeing the rat. I missed the roaches. Well, I'm glad you missed the roaches, but them rats, my. I can't do nothing with them. I am good. What's going on, Carlos? Shout out to you for rocking and rolling. I appreciate you for joining. The Arm Jackson says, the dinosaurs are just the alligator crocodiles. Come to Florida, you can take one home with you. Exactly. Yeah, they're out there. They are out there. Shout out to the gators, the alligators, the crocodiles, all that good stuff. Okie dokie. Hold on. I saw a comment that I wanted to get to. Rose says they released black bears into South Carolina to handle the deer population, changed their minds about using coyotes. Okay. Interesting. Deborah says, I got one more for you. The regular news makes me so sick I have to take 2 packs of Alka-Seltzer. Be able to look at it. Okay. DJ Big Daddy Blake says, Bobcats have a field day. Exactly. Some snow leopards, bobcats, cougars, all of that. Danica says, I think rats have been an issue since the 70s. They have. And the people, it's so many people in one place, it'll never really be solved because there's never going to be an end to the food source. The rat plague will only be alleviated somewhat when the humans leave. That's the only thing that's going to stop it. Or kind of like slow it down. That is the only thing that'll stop it or slow it down. Mr. says the rats will wait for the train with you and get on the train like they're going to work. Nasty work. That's crazy. Okay, you be on the platform. Okay, you on your phone like this here, and you look. Here got a rat doing the same thing you doing. Like, where you going? You about to go to work? Oh, okay. I'm about to go get something to eat. I'm about to go uptown. You know what I'm saying? Because they got some good food right there on 5th Street. You about to go to work? Okay, cool. I'm gonna just ride in the same car with you. Is that all right? Okay, cool. That's how the rats are in New York. Rats got Timberland boots. Okay, I'm in the dad joke territory. 034 says McDonald's double cheese rat burger. Miss Fine says, I saw the Melania Trump movie Saturday. It was really good. I gotta go check that out. I've not seen that yet. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I gotta go check it out myself. I have not seen the Melania movie yet. Lindsay says it's all from those kids who would take baby gators home. Lindsay says, dude, not kidding. I was up in Ohio and I saw a mother and an infant alligator in a little Miami. After I went tubing, I got close to see I was getting out of the tube. That's crazy. That is something else. Carlos says, love your... I'm not sure what you meant right there, but thank you for that. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. And if everybody likes, if you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Give me the heart emoji. Give me the like. Give me the thumbs up. Give me whatever you can. I most certainly appreciate you for doing whatever you're doing. Thank you. And read some more of these comments here. Seabrat, you like the Melania movie too? Okay. You love the Melania movie as well, Seabrat. Shout out to you. I go check that out. You definitely I gotta check it out. Carlos says, it meant love your work, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you, boss. Thank you. Lindsay says, nice. I went to see Melania and I need a reason to hit up the theater and eat popcorn that makes my skin break out. And it'd be like a decade since I've been to a theater. Yeah, I go to theater sometimes. I saw Superman in the movie theater. I saw some movies. Like, if I see something that I like, I'll go check it out. Yeah, I'll definitely go check it out. Whatever's really going on, I'll see what's cracking at the theater. But again, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. So, have you guys been looking at the whole Nancy Guthrie thing? This is Savannah Guthrie's mom, the lady that got kidnapped allegedly. Now, I've not really been following the story. I see little stuff here and there, little updates here and there. So, who do y'all think did the kidnapping? Is it the son-in-law or brother-in-law or something like this? Who do y'all think did the kidnapping? Is it an inside job? Somebody trying to get some money, some broke family member trying to get some money. What do y'all think is going on with that? I don't really know a lot about it. I just see little stuff here and there. And I got a little alert on my phone. It says somebody got detained for questioning, like just right now. So we'll see how that goes. Justin says, I'm watching you since 2018. I was already conservative, but your content made me wake up even more. Keep up the great content. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. 25 years old? Wow. So you watching me when, there's a little quick math here, ABL. Okay, but like a teenager, 17, 18? Yeah. So shout out to you. I most certainly appreciate you for rocking and rolling. SA Tech, it says, man, the family seems a bit weird acting to me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but something's missing. I don't know what it is, but something is missing. I'll say that. I will say that. Gotta say deep state operation, potentially. But yeah, shout out to you, Justin. I'm glad you're able to watch me from a young man up into your early adulthood. Shout out to you, man. Miss Fine says, I don't think the old lady is alive anymore. I hope I'm wrong. That'd be unfortunate. Shebrat says only 4 houses being built in Cali after the fire still. It's not going to go back to the way it was before. It's going to be too expensive because you got to remove the previous, fix any kind of infrastructure damage, and the cost to build it will be so much more. Anybody going to, if they want to rebuild right there, they're not going to be able to afford it, in my humble opinion. People that were there right before are not going to be able to afford it. Lindsay says, I think the neighbors might have some part. Certainly, they noticed a camera on the roof, which means the police never looked up there beforehand. Hey, maybe so. 03 Forcer says Justin has a good role model. Hey, shout out to Justin. Shout out to him. Excuse me. Yeah, so I don't know. They're gonna figure it out. I'll see. I'm gonna keep my eye on the story and see what's going on with it. But people get desperate when money make people act really crazy. Money makes people act very crazy. You never know what they're going to do. Brett says the Mustang woman's husband was a cleaner for PDF Clinton. Missing woman's husband was a cleaner for Clinton, I suppose. Miss Fine says they rebuilt anything from the fires. They have not rebuilt anything from the fires in Hawaii either. They probably won't. Justin says, my family voted for Trump in 2016, and my dad knew someone who got us front row seats to Trump's 2016 inauguration. Then I voted for him in 2020 and 2024. There we go. That's all I'm talking about. Shout out to you, man. That's got to be a good experience, man. But you weren't old enough back then to vote in 2016. Right. I got you, boss. But I'm glad you got that experience in 2016 to go to the inauguration. That's amazing. Yeah, not just a rally, the inauguration. That's amazing. Yeah, definitely a good experience to be able to go to an event like that. Okay, and then you're able to watch them over the years and see what you like and what you don't like or whatever, and say, okay, now let's go out there and vote. Do my civic duty to go out there and vote. Right on. I like that. Shout out to you. And shout out to your dad for having that connection. Always good to have good dads in your life, for sure. But if you guys like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Give the video to heart. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But yeah, this whole thing with the monkey stuff, crazy. Oh, the halftime show. Listen, I can't do nothing with the Spanish. This ain't really my thing. But if you're coming in just now, I covered that a little bit earlier in the stream. I came on at about 9 o'clock. Shebrat says we the people need to get the SAVE Act passed. Hopefully it does. Hopefully we get that passed and out the way. Knock it out the way. Carlos said, love this video, Brother Anthony. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Justin says, my dad took my brother and I out of school for 2 days ago. Unfortunately, my school was sort of left leaning. So when they asked my dad, he said, none of your business. Shout out to dad. That's what I'm talking about. I compose music. What's happening? I compose music says, what do you think of the measles outbreaks? Well, that's a good question. I think maybe the influx of illegal aliens got something to do with it, because it's funny how they say Americans need to get vaccinated, and if you don't, you're going to spread this and that and the third. Meanwhile, illegal aliens coming to the country, no vaccinations at all, and they spread stuff and it's fine. Okay. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Anybody trying to inoculate them and rush to get them to get the vaccine, the COVID, they do whatever they want to do. Exactly. I compose music. Yeah, it's illegal aliens. That's just, yeah. So until they want to address that, then I don't want to hear nothing from them talking about, the conservatives don't want to get vaccinated. It's not, that ain't the problem. The problem is the sick illegal aliens coming over here. Lindsay says, what about that bio lab they found in Vegas? Chinese involved? What was that all about? The Chinese do stuff like that all the time. They just do random stuff. I mean, I don't know why they do that, but it's a thing. Like that's happened before. Little bio labs. I don't know what they're making in there. Maybe the Chinese bio lab is the equivalent of the American meth lab. It's like the same kind of thing. But rather than cooking meth, they're cooking some other stuff. I don't know what they're doing, but they shouldn't be doing that over here. And the craziest part is that the place they had it was an Airbnb. So people were renting the spot, getting sick, and not even knowing why. Imagine you rent the Airbnb, you get sick, and you see the news a couple of days later that it was a trap house that you were in. Imagine that. I Compose Music says, do you need to get another booster? Like I heard that if you were vaccinated, you need another one. Or are you getting a booster? And what are your thoughts? People are saying you need another one. Well, I've not been vaccinated at all, period. So I'm not getting the booster. I'm not getting the first shot, second shot. I'm not doing anything. So I don't know anything about that. Maybe that's what they're saying, but I have no idea. And I'm most certainly not going to get the vaccine or the booster or anything like that. Nothing linked to it. I've never had a flu shot before in my life. The last time I got any vaccination was when I was a child in school. I'm talking like elementary school. Beyond that, I'm good. Don't worry about it. I'm a pretty healthy person, and I got faith in God. I do things to make myself healthy, because faith without works is dead. Amen. That's how I operate. I can't say God help me, God protect me, and God gave me the ability to be disciplined, and God gave me money to be able to go buy food, and God gave me the ability to not eat certain food. If I don't use those God-given abilities, why am I going to God talking about, hey, can you help me? It's like, bro, I gave you all the tools you needed. What you crying at me for? God, please, I don't want to be a big back. Well, I gave you the ability to not eat. You don't have to eat if you don't want to. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Carlos says, I told everyone I know not to get the shot. Hey, good man. Shout out to you. Rose says, I never had COVID or the vax. Same. Oh, the measles. Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. Okay, so you want to is there a measles booster? I never heard of that before. I have no idea about that. So I'm not getting any kind of vaccination shot. I'm good. I'm not getting that. It's attacker says I have spina bifida and went to donate blood. The lady at the Red Cross told me I look and walk like a monkey and took it off. But I always say suck it up and move on. Don't let negativity drag me down. Yeah, I mean, listen. People like that, they just probably miserable in their own life, so they want to attack you to feel better. Don't worry about that. You're going to do a good thing to donate blood, right? And then they want to attack you for that. That's crazy. So yeah, don't let nobody, don't let people like that enter your thought process at all, because that's just them being miserable toward you, because at home they're miserable. Imagine that house of that person. You're talking about garbage everywhere. Hey, you go in their house, you step right on the ground. You got dead cats, all of that. So yeah, don't feel no kind of way about that at all. Yeah, but I compose music. hey, whatever they say, they can say whatever. I'm good. I am good. I'm not getting no vaccine booster, no measles vaccine booster, no nothing. Like I said, I told y'all before, if Jesus came down from the sky and said, my son, take this, I'd be like, can I get a few more? Can I get a second opinion on that? You know what I'm saying? Can I ask the Father? Like, let me figure this out. Cause I only got one body, right? I got to ask questions. Carlos says, my lovely wife says, don't give your pets those shots. Right on. Exactly. Shout out to your wife. Big Daddy Blake said, I've been to a doctor. I've not been to a doctor in 12 years since the last one told me to stop checking my weight and blood pressure daily. Definitely no shots. Yeah. Acapella Music says, I need consolation. I'm so scared of the measles. I live in Northern Virginia. 12 in DC, 6 up here where I'm at. I mean, don't worry about it. You'll be all right. You'll be okay. Don't worry about it at all. Yeah. And my question would be, what do those people have in common? Where are they from? Are they here legally? Have they been in contact with illegal aliens? What's their history? What's their actual background? That's what I want to know, because sometimes they tell people what's going on with people's backgrounds when things like this happen, and sometimes they don't. But I want to know. I think it's pretty important to know that if you get an outbreak among a certain community of people, the question is why. If it's random and spread around, then maybe you could kind of point to there just being a general transmission of the virus. They apparently went to the March for Life rally. Well, there you go. There you go. And it'd be people in there who may not be on the up and up. Acapella Music says, I think many of them are definitely illegal, so it's infuriating because they will definitely keep letting them in. There's too many of them here. Hey, I would say just live life as normal. Don't go to big, crazy, crowded places with like a rally or something like that if you are really concerned. But beyond that, I think you'd be all right. SA Tech, it says, I never had a flu shot, never got the jab, and I never had COVID. Crazy because my family doctor told me I'm high risk because of spinal bifida. Wrong. There you go. Shout out to your intuition and your understanding of your own self to avoid doing that, to preserve your health. Shout out to you. Ms. Fine says these celebrities are giving back to their stolen land they talked about at the Grammys. Are they giving it back or are they not giving it back? I don't think they're going to give that back. I think Billie Eilish got confronted. She ain't giving that back. Carlos says, Brother Anthony, I say there was never a pandemic. Hey, I'm not going to say there was or it wasn't. I'm just saying. I call it the scamdemic, pandemic. That's what I call it. But hey, I'm not here to say whether it happened or not. I'm just saying that's what I call it. That's what I coin it. Shebrat says, my prayer will be for the people given the biochem sickness gets it back tenfold. I'm not sure what you mean. You talking about the biolab they had in Vegas? Or people that have the sickness from different places giving it, hope they get it back tenfold. Yeah, but we could just alleviate a lot of this. This could be alleviated largely by disinviting the illegal aliens to our country. Ms. Fine says, I meant to say not giving it back. Acapella Music says, what is being made in the biolab in Vegas? I don't know. That's a good question. But they already busted it, so it's not anything being made anymore. RIP to your mom, Shebrat. Shebrat says your mom died from COVID. RIP to your mom. Jonathan says, love your content, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, one thing I want to say, I don't want to take away from anybody's pain or what they had going on in their life. But one thing that actually happened, remember, during COVID, 1 year they cited a certain number for COVID deaths. And then they said that same year there was no flu. They said the flu just took a vacation. But the number that they said was COVID deaths was the same number that is normally attributed to the flu in this country. So, I mean, make it make sense. All of a sudden, 1 year, there's no flu deaths, but there's the same amount of deaths from COVID instead. And they're both head colds. Okay, whatever. Tell me anything. Tell me anything. Carlos says, they lied about the numbers to scare people into taking the bioweapon disguised as a vaccine. Thank you, Brother Anthony, for posting my thoughts. There you go. Right on. I Compose Music says, good. Who knows how many others there are of the labs at A. You got to keep on trying to trace them. But again, that goes back to the whole illegal alien thing, because if you got illegal aliens doing things like building labs, if you're able to deport them, then you can shut down the operation. See, it goes in a variety of ways. I Compose Music says, COVID vaccine is horrible. These people need to go to Little Rocks, Big Rocks, plus you mentioned, make it Big Rocks, Little Rocks in the penitentiary. Hey, it's where they got to go immediately, ASAP. That's right. Yeah. But the vaccine, I'm good. If you want to get it, you want to get vaxxed and all that kind of stuff, that's fine. But personally, I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and pass on that. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Please give the video the hearts. Give it a like. Give it all that good stuff. I most certainly appreciate you. I got a little bit more time here, but I got to get up out of here soon. Shebrat says, we only needed policies in the books to follow to close the border. Exactly. Follow the policies in the books, close the border up. Ms. Fine says, they lied about the COVID numbers. There are counts of people killed in motorcycle accidents since COVID deaths. Yeah, I remember that. So it was like, okay, if somebody died while on a motorcycle and they died from the accident, like, okay, so somebody's driving a motorcycle, right? Brrr, and they crash, boom, and they die from the crash. But when they test the body, they say that they had COVID in the system. That could be counted as a COVID death. But clearly they died because they got into the wreck and they died from the injuries sustained by the wreck. That's how, they were doing stuff like that back then. It was really deceptive just because they wanted to give everybody this shot. Rose says, Big Pharma was hurting for money since their new meds are ineffective. Well, Carlos says, I'm tripping out that you're posting my thoughts. You have an awesome forum. Love you, bro. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Mr. says that end game is to kill off population so they can keep control. And that's a real black pill right there. I mean, I feel you though. I do. All right, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. You guys are the absolute best. All right, I'm about to roll up out of here. Y'all know I'll be back. Listen, I'll be back Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Instagram Live. But I'm here every day putting out pre-recorded content. And I'm also on YouTube Live twice a week. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Saturday, same bat time, same bat place. So that's pretty much it for me tonight. I appreciate you for rocking and rolling. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.